On a clear sunny Tuesday morning in 2001, life as we knew it changed forever. Good morning, I'm Del Walters. Welcome to BNC's special coverage of 9/11 20 years later. 2,996 lives were lost on September 11th. Today we honor their memories, we hear their stories of survival, and we also look at the path forward after 2 decades of war. But first, how it all began. How did we get here? A look back at the day that is seared in our minds and our hearts forever. At exactly 8:46 in the morning, the United States changed forever. Mohammed Atta and the other hijackers on board American Airlines Flight 11 crashed their plane into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. This was the scene in Florida as White House Chief of Staff Andy Card tells a stunned President George W. Bush what has happened. The president was visiting an elementary school in Sarasota, Florida. Moments later, at exactly 9:03 a.m., the second building is hit. United Airlines Flight 175 slams directly into floors 75 through 85 of the South Tower. Flights are banned, but by then it is too late. Flight 77 crashes into the Pentagon at exactly 9:37 a.m., killing 59 people on board and 125 people inside the Pentagon. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower of the World Trade Center collapses. The images etched into our minds, the searing sounds of terrorism followed.
This scrapes off to the sides of the main crater with the wings.
As that tower is collapsing, the passengers on board Flight 93 seize control of the plane. It crashes into a field in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. It is believed that that plane was bound for either the Capitol or the White House. 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapses. For others, the day was far more personal and tragic. Angela Blunt remembers when the military came knocking at her door. Her sister was inside the Pentagon.
They wanted to swab our mouth and everything. They had to prove by DNA because they said the only remains that they had at the time was, I think it was ashes.
Blunt never looked at the footage from that day until 20 years later.
I cried.
2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
I cried to see everything that happened from the Trade Center to the Pentagon.
Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence.
God bless America, my home. Prior to September 11th, none of us had ever heard of Al-Qaeda or Osama Bin Laden. Soon, that would change.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
War footing soon followed, and early victory over the Taliban, and the rules of travel that would change our lives forever. Shoes off, no liquids, no metals. The new normal was anything but that. Then came the anniversaries, marked by blue lights soaring into the skies where the Twin Towers once stood. May 2nd, 11 years later, this announcement from then President Barack Obama.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama Bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
The death of the mastermind behind the travesty, Osama Bin Laden. It was that moment when our nation began to pivot to a new mission, ending the war and withdrawing thousands of troops from Afghanistan. It took 4 more years and thousands of military lives to end Operation Enduring Freedom, the war and international effort to root out the Taliban regime in Afghanistan and destroy Bin Laden's terrorist network.
I've concluded that it's time to end America's longest war. It's time for American troops to come home.
President Biden affirming the decision to leave Afghanistan. August 31st, 2021, the forever war officially ends. Today, 9/11 stands alone in history, a permanent stain on the American psyche that will forever mar the generation that defines itself as the 9/11 generation, based on where they were the day before and after the blue skies grew dark in broad daylight.